Today on JCM Academy Masterclass, we're going to conclude part 3 of the 3-part series. We're going to talk about the important things you need to do in an interview, whether you're the interviewer or the interviewee, because let's face it, it can be a little challenging for both of you, and having these under your belt might just give you the confidence and help you land the position, or you as the interviewer, the confidence so that you're able to get through maybe a slightly challenging situation. Stay tuned. I'll see you in class. Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur and your coach. Hey, if you haven't heard, we have JCM Academy Masterclasses every single month. You can get access to this by visiting jcmacademy.eventbrite.com for just $45 and $100 for the entire month. Great tips that can help you change your life for the better. All right, we're concluding today a 3-part series of how to interview, whether you're the interviewer or the interviewee. Let's face it, people get nervous. Some people are biting their nails, they're shaking their feet, and there's no reason for this. Just understand that the person that's interviewing you just wants to ask you some questions and answer them honestly. It's not about building this whole brigade about what you didn't do, because let's face it, that's all gonna come out in the wash, either in the interview or if you get hired the first day you work, and you might wind up getting fired. So let's talk about something that's really important. Open-ended communication. If the employee responds in a manner that, let's say, is not conducive to you as the interviewer, you can say, hey, I understand that you're giving me some information. I just need some more details about the specifics. And then if they don't give it to you, you can say something like, I can see from your resume you've had this experience. I really want to hear and experience what it was like in those projects. So many people write things on a resume and they don't actually do those things. Now, I know you're not a candidate that would do that, so please share with me what it was like in some of these different projects. Another thing you want to do is do the interview in a 3-part series. 1, you might want to do a phone call or a video interview to help pre-screen to see if this person is someone that should move to step 2, which is going to be your in-person interview. The in-person interview is where you have already found out that this is probably a good candidate. You haven't gone through all of their skills, but you feel there's a very good chance that they're going to work out for you. They show up and you say something to them like, hey, did you have a chance to go over the information that we shared with you? So what we typically do is this. In interview 1, we go through some basic information, find out about their experience, and then we see if they're a good fit for not only the organization, but also their skill set. Then what we say is, we'd like to invite you back for interview 2, if that's what we want to do. And we say, I'd like you to look at this or look at that, and I'd like you to make some recommendations about how you would have done it differently and put together a short outline so that when we meet next time, you could tell me what you'd like to change. If we decide after that interview that we'd like to proceed with you, we will move forward with a 3rd interview, which will be called our app prac. The app prac will actually be where you actually do the work, and then you'll come before us after you have performed the app prac or the examples that we've asked you to build or draw or put together. Now, a lot of students will be like, oh, I don't want to go through all that work. Like, I met you once, I met you a second time. Most good jobs and good internships have a good 2 to 3 interviews. If they don't, that means the organization is not very selective in who they're bringing on. Thus, when someone puts you through those extra paces, you should actually be glad because they want to make sure that you're going to fit in with that organization. they may ask you questions like this. Joe, I know in our previous interview you mentioned that feedback was important. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you? I'd say a 9. Well, that's great. And I just wanted to know, is there a certain type of feedback that you would like to receive? If they say no, you can say to them, gee, well, what would someone typically say to you in feedback? Because they may not know the verbiage. It could be something as simple as, well, whenever I finish what I'm doing, I want to know that I'm on track with something or what I need to change, what I need to course correct. I like someone who is not gonna, knock me down, but someone who's gonna praise what I did and then tell me what has to be changed. You as the interviewer can say something like, just had a question for you. When we think about feedback, you mentioned it's very important to you. We typically like to give feedback and explain what's wrong, but we also like to share what's good. How do you feel about that? And listen to their responses. If someone does not embrace CCF, which is basically constant feedback or continuous critical feedback, they're probably not a good match. It's sometimes called CCC, consistent critical criticism, okay? And but consistent feedback is very important. So constant critical feedback is key. And an organization that doesn't want to operate in this manner is probably one that you're not going to last very long at. I hope these tips helped you to understand that an interview might be a daunting task, but it's not as bad as you're making it seem, whether you're the interviewer or the interviewee. It's a process, and we can all get through it with just a little bit of practice. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I thank you so much for tuning in to the final series. That's number 3 of 3. If you missed any of the others, be sure to go back and check them out because they're amazing. Be sure to like, love, support the channel, comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates, share this at whatever one you know on social media, and then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, click on the PayPal link and make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful those pennies and dollars will invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping feedback. Yes, consistent feedback. Consistent feedback, very important. Consistent, constructive feedback. If feedback is not constructive, it's just somebody venting. And what good is venting if it can't help change the course of your direction? We'll see you in another video real soon.